Okay. Hi, I'm Maritza. We are. Oh, you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Tucker. Tucker.
Hi, I'm Willow.
And we are all writers for the Oak Leaf. And this is our Bachelorette podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Bachelorette review, I guess, podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Bachelorette recap, review, tea spilling. Yeah,
Just a little chat.
yeah, a little
Little
chit.
chat, little catch up.
Exactly. So I guess let's just start off saying like this is the most dramatic season of Bachelorette history, as Chris Harrison would say.
Right, in the words of Chris Harrison. I mean, we've had Claire, who was our initial Bachelorette, started out, had 4 episodes with her before she was like, oh, I fell in love at first sight, and dipped out of there with her mans.
Which is like so almost uncalled for in this kind of show. It's like it's not meant for people who are willing to be in love at first sight. It's more made for people who are like, want to have fun with a bunch of other people and then eventually fall in love, and she kind of broke every rule.
Oh, totally. You could see throughout the progress of the show, I felt how upset producers were just with Claire for messing up the process.
Let's even think about Dale's place. Dale was just trying to have fun, probably, and then he's like, "Oh, I guess I'm gonna be a baby daddy too soon."
My God, the producers are literally just like grabbing him out of the bathroom and throwing him at Claire. It was so dramatic.
You showed up.
Like, yeah, because the producers told me to.
Literally, he's like, what's going on? Like, I was like over there, like, but Claire is not our current Bachelorette. We have a new Bachelorette.
Tayshia Adams.
Heck yeah. Starting out, we had our first episode with Tayshia, in which they introduced the men to Tayshia in a very weird way. She walked in on Claire's remaining, I believe it was 16 men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was up with that? No limo entrances?
Yeah, that was weird.
Get like the same, like, I guess, first impressions as like the rest of as Claire did. Like,
I know. I felt like they really did a disservice to Tayshia.
Yeah, they didn't really make her the focal point of that episode. They kind of,
It was like it was the guys.
Imagine how Tayshia would have felt if she saw Bennett roll up in that Rolls Royce. Like,
I know. She would have been like, oh my God, here we go. Sophisticated, mature, Harvard man. But I feel like that brings us into what we started out with today, the grown-ass man challenge.
Grown-ass man.
I don't want to jump too far ahead, but Bennett proved that going to Harvard did not necessarily mean you are educated.
No. Not at all.
Did he go to Harvard? Did he go to high school? Did he go to any? Did
he pass his first grade spelling test? I mean.
And all he has going for him is that nice chest hair at the robe. He was like, I don't know how to spell, but I do have a robe.
Oh yeah.
It concerns me. He's like a wealth consultant, yet he doesn't know basic math. Like,
is he? I didn't know he was.
Yeah.
Calculator, right? Assistance.
I know Maritza likes Bennett. Do you like Bennett, Willow?
Okay, well, after tonight, I have some feelings. I will say that for sure. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So the Grown-Ass Man Challenge, it's we start with a host, Ashley and Jared, who we've met in Bachelor in Paradise. Tucker, you're pretty new to this. I've been watching for a while. I started with JoJo season myself. So I don't know, like, do you know who they are? Are you familiar?
I was not familiar with them. But yeah, I wasn't familiar with them.
All right, and then Maritza.
I can tell other people would be like, woohoo.
No, yeah. So like I started watching after Hannah Brown season. So just as Bachelor in Paradise after that, that's when I started watching. So I kind of was familiar with them because they came out in Bachelor in Paradise that season.
They got married, right, in that season?
No, I don't think they got married in that season. I think or maybe they weren't in that season. No.
I don't know. They're always
previous
somewhere.
to that one. But yeah,
I was gonna say, I think it's funny because Ashley was always known as the crier, nonstop, constant crier, who was in love with Jared, and Jared was never very into her, which was super funny. But anyways, so getting off track here with Ashley and Jared. But I felt like in a weird way when they were talking to the group of guys, this is just something I noticed. I felt like they were like the kind of people who would present to your middle school class. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was just the vibe they presented.
That's a really good point, to like tell you about climate change or something like that.
Climate change, or like, this is why we don't bully one another and here's my story, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from there we got to Bennett, right? And here's where we get to have the fun of talking about it.
Because you think Harvard grad, you think, he's gonna be, he even was cocky about it. He was like, oh yeah, I'm a Harvard grad, I got this. And
I was like, okay, but you clearly relied on autocorrect.
Yes, like he relied on his, tutors, being as rich as he is, he probably relied
on his money. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
yeah. We immediately had Ed, though, bringing the drama with his facial expressions, eye rolls throughout this entire situation. There goes my phone. Sorry, y'all.
I mean, Ed was bitter all episode, I felt like.
I would agree, honestly. Ed was he was a lot.
I mean, yeah.
We'll keep discussing about like Ed, but I feel like Ed just like, he's only relevant because of the drama he brings. Like,
and a lot of the drama, and a lot of the drama he brings is, in my opinion, really clearly out of like insecurity and jealousy. Like, he clearly, like, I don't think like everything he has to say is like bullshit, because it's not. But it clearly is coming from like a jealous standpoint.
For sure.
I would have to agree. I thought it was a lot. But I will say this one thing about Bennett during all of this was I believe he won the challenge, right?
Yeah, so he went to the grown ass man challenge
because of his surprise intimate moment or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he just kissed Tasia out of nowhere.
And like fed her the beignets. I can't speak, but yeah, that.
Yeah, but didn't he sat out the competition, one of the competitions, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, because of a football injury, he couldn't do, like, because of his knees, the tug of war kind of thing.
Oh my God, but he wasn't the only one using the excuses all night with his physical injuries.
Oh my God, no, Ed, I dislocated. Him looking like a boulder, and he dislocated his very sensitive shoulders.
I know. Chris Harrison literally said at one point, like, quote, "You're built like a brick house." Like, so dramatic.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, seriously. But I was like, okay, wait, this should be something Tayshia should be taking into consideration here, right? If he's supposed to have kids with her, how is he supposed to like be picking children up and things like that if he has shoulders that are going to dislocate?
Yeah, I mean, he was able to carry the baby the whole entire episode, so
to prove he was really there for the right reasons.
Yes. So yeah, I guess we didn't really explain this, but at the end of the entire challenge, Ed was the man child. After he was very hilariously flinged across the room during the tug of war from what was it, Ben? Yeah.
Oh, because of his chicken legs.
His chicken legs, yes.
And right after this, Chasen admitted to Tayshia that he's never been in love, which I thought was something that was pretty interesting to note. Before Chasen starts to go on talking about how Bennett was Batman, and then Ed is Robin, and then he said he's Superman. No, never mind. Hold up. I'm Wolverine.
Which, do you guys still understand why he never explained why he's known back home as Wolverine?
I mean, do we have any theories here? I'm like, what is this, some like oh, in high school, I like beat this guy up after football practice or
I was
something,
gonna
and they
say in
named
high
him
school I dressed up as
Wolverine.
a Wolverine one day.
No, it's probably just because his face kind of looks like he's a mutant.
Oh, Tucker went there.
I'm sorry. He has a weird face to me.
My
No.
goodness. Oh wait, I think we forgot to talk about this one moment. So during the cocktail party of this date, Ben stole away Tasha and he caught a kiss with her and a second to talk with her, and she literally said that she was smitten by him and that there's something about Ben. And I was like, oh, I think we have a couple of front runners here already.
And like, I don't
think-
know about y'all, but I really love Ben. I just love him. It's just, I don't know why he gives me like the giggles when I see him, because like
he's so
he's
sweet.
beautiful. He's a beautiful man. He's built like a god. And it's just, he's so nice and humble. But like,
He is there for the right reasons. And we also have Brandon, who love his style.
Yeah, I love him too.
you're up there.
What was that, Tucker?
I also really like Ivan, and I thought that Ivan and Ben were like the two front runners of that night, and she clearly thought so too. And I really thought that they were just both really genuine.
I definitely agree. I think we definitely have a few top front runners here. I feel like we've got Ben, we've got Brandon, we have Ivan. I think
Mhm.
Zach. I think Zach's pretty high up there. She definitely likes him. Easy, I think just couldn't take him far, but I
He
definitely
likes
think he's
Spencer a lot since night one too, which I don't see.
I don't see how. He's just a pretty boy. He looks like one of the Hemsworth brothers.
I see that, yeah.
Oh yeah, he totally does.
Yeah, like in Hunger Games, Dale.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. Liam?
No, but like I definitely like it feel like it's just all look, no personality. And I just like, I don't know, when he came for like night one, he was like, so who like drove Claire out? Like that was like my immediate like,
No, he's like as flat as paint. Like he's just kind of, it's all on the outside, you know?
exactly. But yeah, so like after like the, what was it, that night, no, it was Ben who was mad that Ivan got the rose for the group date, and like Ben was like, which is later foreshadows to the next group date where he was like, I'm gonna get the rose this time.
He had a whole plan constructed.
I knew it was gonna happen too. I knew he wasn't gonna get there because they kept harping on it, and I was like, I bet you it's not gonna happen because this poor man just is not gonna get it.
She just shut that down. I felt so bad, but
I know.
let's not get too far ahead there.
Go to the rose ceremony now, I guess.
I think. I mean, yeah, we've got all of our Chasen and Ed drama bickering back and forth that they were
Oh,
doing the
God.
entire time at the cocktail party of that first group date, which was ridiculous. And then we got Ed, who pulled Tasha aside to talk to her personally, telling her that Chasen was not there for the right reasons, which is the classic Bachelor line.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like he had a point, or do you feel like he was just trying to bring him down?
Honestly, I kind of feel like he does have a point, but I kind of could see it. I could see it. I don't know. Chasen just going on about, like, I do see the points that they bring up where they say that, you know, Chasen said the exact same things about Claire that he's saying about Tasha.
Mhm.
And I have noticed that with a couple of the guys where they seem very surface level. They seem very like, oh, I'm saying the exact same things because I know it's what you want to hear. And
Cough,
so
Blake.
I could potentially, oh my God, don't get me started. But I could
Don't get
potentially, but I could potentially see maybe Chasen at the end of this being someone who, a little bit like Tyler C, where from Hannah Brown season, where he was very, you know, very pretty boy and very nice, and like he did seem like he was there for the right reasons, but ultimately at the end he kind of did seem like shallow and did go on to like live this like really unpredictable lifestyle, which is not very there for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just my theory. That's just, I don't know.
I don't know. So like,
But
at
do you
first
think
I
you
was
kind of have?
What was that?
Go ahead, Maritza.
Okay. I was gonna say that at first I was more on a Jason side. I was like, no, he's pretty. I like him. I believe Jason. I think Ed is just jealous. But then he pulled out the smoke show card.
Oh my God, that's what I'm talking about. The smoke show card. That is there for the wrong reasons.
That's when I was like, yeah, that's the line. You were here and now you're up here. You crossed that line. You crossed that boundary. Now I'm done with you.
Oh, and he didn't just say it once, Maritza. No.
No.
He said it like once every couple of minutes.
Like,
yeah, he said it so much.
And that's just what got edited in, you guys.
They probably cut him out saying it like another 100 times. Like,
they were probably going through audio clips of all the times he did say it, so he could pick the best sounding one and be like, yeah, that's what we're gonna edit in. Anyways. I think rose ceremony. She sent home 3 guys who she said she really just did not feel a connection with.
And I mean, I felt that. I didn't see any camera time. Like, who was it? The African American male that she sent home. I saw like no camera time with him. I don't even know his name.
I agree. The other guy who looked a little funky, also no clue who he was. A really tall man. Looked like he would be like some like weird character in a movie. That guy, who the hell was he? Was he on Claire's season? Was he a new dude? Was he just in the corner the entire time? Like
I think he was a new guy.
Playing a movie.
He was a new guy, but he didn't do anything.
And then the other one, I feel like the other one, I don't know. I'm trying to like think back on who did like the keys. You know, when they both had the keys and threw them in like the fountain. I don't know if that was either Zach, Noah. No, not Noah.
That was Zach.
Or was it Zach? Okay. I thought it was that other guy that she sent home, but I guess not.
Oh, yeah. And then
I was surprised why Blake is still here.
But why is Blake still here? There's clearly no connection. He was not a character in this episode at all, but neither was Brandon. But Brandon, there's a connection there.
She clearly likes him.
The end of the episode when they had like that conversation, I feel like, and then she just like he was talking and ranting. She just went and kissed him, and I was like, my heart warm.
That was so sweet.
But yeah, Blake is still here, and then I kind of forgot that there was a Joe in this, which is like the Asian guy, Joe. The Korean, because he's Korean. I forgot he was still in this whole thing. Surprised.
Was he the one that they ate with on screen? The first time I think we've ever seen food consumed on Bachelor. Like
yes,
ever? Like they actually ate the food.
Although let's not
yeah.
Let's not completely discredit the time in Bachelor in Paradise when John Paul Jones was like, I think it was either in a date with Tayshia or someone else, and he was like, let me see what this food actually tastes like.
That's right. He like had a bite of the food.
And then like I think the person he was on a date with is like, you're not supposed to do that, you know? And then he was like, I just want to try it. Yeah. I guess it was disgusting, but.
Oh, Zach got first rose in the rose ceremony. That I feel like that's pretty notable. He definitely he was up there. It proves again he's probably in one of her front runners at this point.
Yeah,
I think she really likes like his old age and he is kind of like an odd guy, but
he's like a wise man for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. And then can I just say this? Who the heck decided it was a good idea to put Ed and Chasen next to each other in the rose ceremony lineup?
Oh, I think that was genius.
I think
and is Ed still holding the freaking baby yet again to show he's there for the right reason and ready to have a family?
I think so. I think he never let go of that baby. That's all I know.
He was holding on to it so tight.
As soon as Chasen gets that rose, Ed is just fuming. You can see it in his eyes. He's just like gonna explode.
I was waiting for the baby to show up after the rose ceremony. I was like, what? He's going to be sleeping with it? He's going to be there the next morning when they're reading the group date card?
I just thought like he'd never leave the baby. Like he's like the day he does go home at some point, which I know it'll be some point. I just see him with the baby the whole entire time. But
yeah. And then at Tucker, you're gonna say something?
I was gonna ask how you guys felt about Noah kind of crashing the wrestling match.
Oh, okay. I have thoughts on that, but I did really quickly want to mention Tasha
Yeah.
when she kept both Chasen and Ed at the rose ceremony, and all the guys are pissed about it, and she comes back at them with the "I am a woman, I can make my own decisions and have my own opinions." I was like, okay,
I was like, yeah, good for
that's fair. You're doing this for yourself. You're not doing this for the rest of the guys. You're not doing this to appease any of them. You are doing this for yourself, and that's fair.
I thought that was like a very classy move of her, like choosing herself over like he said, she said, this whole thing.
Yeah.
I thought like I thought that she would either send both of them home or keep both of them. Like that was my whole thought
I
process.
thought she was gonna send home Chasen and keep Ed, honestly.
Yeah.
Me too.
But then that didn't happen. And then we did go on to our group date, and we had
Little wrestling
Easy,
match?
Chasen, the wrestling match. Yeah, we had Easy, Chasen, Brendan, Joe, Jordan, Spencer, Ben, and Ed. So it's a really solid group of guys.
Mhm.
A couple of her, like, I think front runners were there,
Yeah.
along with obviously Ed and Chasen, where we had wrestling match, which the date card, did you guys note this? The date card said, "I'm looking for my perfect match." And one of the guys immediately was like, "Oh my God, dude, I know what the date is. It's a puzzle," from the corner.
Oh,
And
that's
all
so
the
funny.
what was
I
that?
didn't know that. That's so funny.
Oh my God, yeah, no, this dude was like, "It's a puzzle." And it's like just like some white guy's voice, disembodied. Don't know who said it. I rewatched it like 10 times trying to figure it out. And then everyone else is like, "It's a wrestling match." And then all the guys are like, "Oh."
Oh yeah.
Yes, but then Tucker, you were saying about his name Joe, right? Or what's his name? Noah.
Noah.
Noah going in.
Yeah, he was in the audience. He was in the audience watching the matches, which were pretty entertaining.
Oh my God, those matches. Oh God, all the bodies all oiled up. Like wow, just a wow.
Which that brush that she was oiling them with looked so uncomfortable. I was like, could you get a softer brush?
Oh my God, she had the ketchup bottle filled with oil.
The ketchup bottle. I was like, quarantine at La Quinta, you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
but yeah, so
those like matches.
the mat.
You were
Sorry.
saying, Tucker?
No, I just thought it was really interesting of like I wasn't expecting anyone in the audience to take such a bold step of like joining the actual date itself, because I mean that happens sometimes, but because this was such a closed off one, I just wasn't expecting it at all.
And he was joining the date because it was Noah had the opportunity to jump in because Chris Harrison basically in a major dig to Ed, who had just said that he has chronic dislocated shoulders. He basically just dug at him and was like, well, for someone who actually wants to fight for Tasha's heart, get in the ring. And enter Noah, who jumps in and decides to fight for Tasha when she invites him to the final end of night cocktail party.
Let's just say no one was happy.
Why would they be? Because they're just like, this is so unfair.
Yeah, I knew they were gonna all attack him at that whole night because
Of course.
I mean, yeah, it's in the nature of the show.
And he gets the group date rose. Because, I mean, what did he do? He decided to shave his mustache.
But let's see. That's a quick little thing though. Like, does he look better with or without the mustache?
Okay, I did have this moment this morning. I was watching it and I paused it and I was like, okay, let's really decide this. He's kind of hot. Hot. And there's like, okay, certain angles, kind of weird. Other angles, kind of hot. I'll admit it.
I agree.
No, yeah. I was like before that, I was like, I don't see anything in him. Like he's not attractive. His personality is a piece of paper, like blank, like nothing. Then he shaved that off and I was like, oh, okay. Okay. But like I saw this meme. I was like, there only could be one person with the stash, and that was Dean. And
I'm sorry. I agree. Dean, he's the only one that could pull it off. And it was only because he was doing at the time. He used to be some New York banker guy when he first came on the show a couple years ago. And I think it was on JoJo season. I don't remember what season it was, but it was a few years back. And he was some sophisticated guy. And since then, he's done his whole photography thing and gone way off the grid and like wild, man. And that's the only reason the stash was able to pass. Noah, you dude from Oklahoma, does not work.
Do you guys think that it was kind of uncool for Tayshia to ask him to shave it off? Or do you think that, because at first I was like, I don't know if I would ask somebody to do that, because it's kind of weird.
Well, it was a little weird that he brought her the razor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been
kissed her immediately after. Did he still have hair on his lip?
probably.
She probably swallowed some of that hair. Not gonna lie.
Anyways.
I feel like because of that, because she forced him to, because he had like an emotional connection to that mustache. So I feel like because of that, she gave him the group rose.
I agree. I think that's the reason he got the group date rose, as well as the fact they jumped the fence. I was like, oh, okay, we got another Colton part 2, jumping the fence over here. But I mean, it's true. But the whole mustache thing.
First watching it, getting a little PTSD.
Okay, right. But back to Tucker's question with the mustache thing, I definitely think that little uncool of her to ask him to shave it that soon. I think that if she was gonna take him, like, do it next week, a couple, like, after the next rose ceremony, obviously he got the rose, he was going through that anyways, but you know what I mean, like, in a little bit. So once you're sure, because this dude, he grew it out. It could take him only maybe another month or whatever to grow it back out, but still, like, it was important to him.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's stupid to ask people to change for you, especially so.
Totally. And I think it would have been kind of cool if he was like, yeah, I think it would have been kind of cool if he was like, if he came back and he was like, you know what? I really like this mustache and I feel good in it. And if you kind of want to maybe like learn to like it, because I mean, then I'll learn to like you. And I think that'd be cool. I think that would have been kind of like a grown ass man way of doing it.
I totally agree. That totally would have been a grown-ass man way of doing it, because it's just like the same as, for example, a girl. What if a guy really likes short hair? I know I have really long hair. If someone was to ask me to cut my hair, I'd be like, hell no. You know how long it took to grow this out? Yeah. And like, maybe eventually down the road, if we are working out and say, I'm ready, we've talked about a little more, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll cut my hair. Why not, for fun? But that's my decision. I feel like when it's someone else's decision and they're asking you to change something about yourself, that's not really cool. But I mean, obviously that wasn't really probably her intention at all. But it was a little like, a little too soon.
And I mean, although he does look a little bit better without the stash, I still don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't like him. I don't get good vibes from him.
He has kind of creepy vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You think?
A little bit. I don't know, Tucky. You think he's chill?
I don't know. I don't think he's definitely not one of my favorites, but I think he's just a little young and a little cocky.
I was gonna say, being 25, I mean, Tayshia is only 29, right? So that's not that bad. But, I definitely think that he might be there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess, Ben just waiting around thinking that he's gonna get that chance with Tayshia, and Tayshia like said, Ben, like, I'm sorry, but like the date's over. Like she just like shot him down like that. And I'm just like, oh. And then like at the end, when she gave like the rose to like Noah, everyone was pissed. I was very, very laughing really hard, because when Ed was like, he was yelling, he was like super mad, and I was like,
Ed literally said,
what happened if you just fought Chasen? Like, you could have avoided this entire thing.
It's true, but don't mind his dislocated shoulders. I mean, that could be a genuine thing. Don't want to bash on that, but Ed did literally say, fuck Noah, and I think that's probably foreshadowing a lot to what's to come next week, which I'm really excited and looking forward to watching.
Exactly. Me too. Any ideas of what's going to happen next week?
Honestly, from watching that foreshadowing trailer, I have no idea.
I hope the people I like get more time with her. Like, I really want Ben to get more time. Who else?
I agree.
I hope
I
Ivan
agree.
gets a one-on-one date.
Who?
Ivan get a one. Oh yeah. I hope Noah doesn't really get much more attention all next week because he already has a rose. We're going into another week and we have a couple more dates coming up. He should not be on any of them. He already had his time. But I think we should cover that all in a recap coming up here next week.
Yep, next week. So
Sweet.
thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to us. We will see you back next week, hopefully same time. Yeah, thank you.
Have a good
Peace.
one. Bye.
Bye.